You can't see her, but we can hear her voice.
I'm still dancing.
Some other artists together. In common things, friends, in common, like amazing.
Awesome. Hi, guys.
Hello guys, it's a September show here in Düsseldorf and Stream D. Welcome. We're really happy to welcome our guest here. But before we are started, let's talk with my co-host Sasha.
Hello, everybody. It's September show, and we are really glad to be here, to be with you. And today we have really interesting guest in our studio.
Woo-hoo.
Maybe you know about Bonten and Friends, just like the Japanese Wadaiko group from Kawasaki, formed in 1999 and organized by Masataka Kobayashi. And so, Barbara, it's very nice to have you here. Welcome, and how are you doing?
Thank you. Well, I'm excited to be here. It was very spontaneous, but yes, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. We're really excited. And before we start, I want to say that this year we can congratulate you with your 25th anniversary. Isn't it so? Because the first time you have been, the band was performed in Matsaki, is it the name of the festival? The traditional Japanese festival, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Matsuri Festival. And could you tell a little bit more about the history of the band and how Sasha said already how much the involvement of the festival in Japan plays a huge role in the band?
Yes. First of all, I need to mention that the Bonten and Friends, they are basically, it's two different teams. Mm-hmm. So on the one hand, we have Bonten coming from Kawasaki, who are currently giving a concert in Belgium, will be arriving tonight in Düsseldorf for a concert tomorrow.
And we're going to talk about this.
Yes. Especially. Please. That's what I'm here for as well. And there's, the second part of the team, the so-called Friends, with Taiko experience as well. And I'm part of the Friends. So with regards to Bonten, I'm afraid nobody is here today because, as mentioned, they are in Belgium currently. But with regards to their history, as you have introduced as already, they were formed in Kawasaki. And yes, it's their 25th anniversary. Mm-hmm. And the founder is Masataka Kobayashi, together with members of the Mirai Taiko dojo. Mm-hmm. And 1 year later, indeed, they have performed on a matsuri, and a matsuri is a big Japanese festival. That's how it all started, where they became bigger and bigger, and afterwards they gave a lot of performances and concerts. What's really important to mention is that they compose their own songs. Mainly Masataka does it, since they're since they
he's the founder and he
exactly since they were established, they published 6 different albums with 50 different songs, and they do not only perform in Japan. Of course, in Japan they're already very renowned and well known, but they also perform overseas.
The globe, yeah,
exactly. So they have a fan base outside of Japan as well, and when they compose their songs, they do not only write it for taiko, which is the Japanese words for drums. It's mainly for taikos, but the songs are also supported by other traditional instruments.
Pop, right? Like a
yes,
kabuki.
They also, exactly, they do crossover projects in theaters, like kabuki, like you mentioned, but also indeed with other music styles as well. And since they're in Japan, mainly, of course, with J-pop.
So it's very interesting to hear, but I would like to make one question, just like how does it feel to play Taiko, and do you feel some like transformation of doing
Energy,
this?
like a Japanese people's spirit.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just, hitting a drum and you create a sound. It's like you feel it with your whole body. And I remember the first time I saw Taiko, I was just 8. And there were loads of people on the stage. And it was, all those people were beating the same beat. And you really just feel it with your body. It's a whole experience. And once you do it yourself, it's like you're in a trance. It's a meditation on the one hand, and it's so completely different to your everyday life. I'm doing it as a hobby or semi-professional, but it's like you dive into a different world with all the other taiko players next to you who really beat the same beat.
Everything changed. Energy, the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I think, really accumulate something in you which grow after all to the new interesting performance, to new interpretation. You share your energy with people.
Yes. And you have to be so focused and disciplined. You don't have scores, you don't have notes. Like if you play a piano, you just have the beat and the rhythm, and you have to feel it. You have to feel it in your body, and it's so beautiful feeling the vibes of the other drummers around you. And then if you're on the stage and you have your audience in front of you who are fascinated and who have the same energy giving back to you, it's an absolute give and take. And this is what I completely love about Taiko is, being with others, doing the same thing, and giving it to an audience who give a different kind of energy back to you.
So about Japanese culture, we were talking with Barbara a little bit before the show, and I told Barbara that I had to learn Japanese language for 1 year in my life, and so I can say something. Hataraku no tame ni watashi no daigakko yasamemashita. It translates like, so to work, I left my university. That's only why I started working in production. That was the goal. But coming back to Japanese culture, the culture of Japan, it's all about details. It's all about minimalism.
Traditions.
And you said just like you make the sound, but it's very, so I wouldn't like to say that it's basic, but it's very minimalism. So, and I think that there are a lot of just like beauty there, because when you focus on the sound, you start to understand how it feels like.
Guys, before we start to answer to this question, let's listen this sound with a composition by Bonten Poseidon. Yes, we are back with a September show on Stream D. Barbara, Sasha, me, Anna here. And let's go back to our question was to Barbara by Sasha about the
Japanese culture. And coming back to this point, I would like to ask you, what aspects of Japanese culture do you think are the most important for understanding Taiko?
As mentioned already, I think what is so important is the discipline. And what you mentioned as well, the attention to detail. Because on the one hand, yes, it's minimalistic to that extent that you have a bass beat, which is represented by this huge drum called odaiko. And it can have something like a diameter of a minimum of 1 meter and even bigger. And this is really like the heartbeat of Taiko. It's really like boom, 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 boom. So that's basically the minimalistic part of the Taiko. But then in addition, you have very different types of drums. You have bigger drums, which is comparable to a wine barrel that gives the melody. And you have smaller drums with a higher frequency, which can be compared with a metronome, giving the speed. And this whole composition, I think this is so, Taiko can be very traditional to that extent that it just have single beats, recurring beats, which is very Japanese because the origins of Taiko were in shrines and in temples to call the gods.
To communicate with one another.
Exactly. And then on the other hand, you have the modern part of Taiko. And this is what is so important for Japan as well. You have the traditions on the one hand, and you have a very modern part of Japan as well.
And the sound as well. The sound, because sorry that I interrupted you.
No,
also, also it's really popular in anime, in all of the culture, right? The new pop culture, or we will say in subculture of younger generation.
Yes.
It's really, really common now, and it gives a broader audience the understanding of this art. And if we're talking about, for example, bringing it to the international level, right? How it start to arise when even for you just realize, okay, it was my love to it, oh my god, and now people around me also loving it, and maybe they not participate directly but indirectly they talk about it. Then I play, they say, oh, well, we love it, we enjoying it. When was this moment for you?
For me, that was when I saw it in a Matsuri, and then I wanted to start trying it myself. Before that, I was already playing the piano, I was doing drama, I was doing ballet. So I was already accustomed to stages. And when I tried it, I did it with my dad. I did a workshop with my father. And he wasn't very talented, to be honest. And he said, oh my God, but you're doing it so perfectly. You should continue doing it. So I continued doing it, and I did it on stage as well. And this is where it caught me. Where, the audience gave you feedback that it's so fascinating. When I started back in the days, that was in the year 2000. And no one in Germany was, or rarely somebody in Germany was aware that this is existing. So it was new for everyone. And when they saw it, they had the same feeling that I had when I saw it the first time. Namely, they were fascinated. And that's how it started. And then during the course of the years, Taiko became bigger. There were more groups, and there were more occasion to show it on stage, and there were more crossover projects.
That's interesting. Do you have any maybe festival that you can share with us and with our audience? We can participate in Düsseldorf or maybe in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, we have the Japanese festival,
Yeah.
right?
We love it.
In summer, and there are different taiko groups that have performed. Either on the big stage or also, somewhere on the streets where I remember when we carried those big drums on our shoulders and trying to make our way through the public, and we just made our way and said, okay, this is going to be our stage. It wasn't a real stage. It was just,
improvising.
on a pavement. Exactly. And then we just started, and then, the people, when they hear it, they get curious.
Of course.
So it's like a crowd getting bigger and bigger. They're just staying there because they want to see it, they want to feel it, they want to hear it.
Do you think involvement of Düsseldorf plays a role here, because the community in Düsseldorf?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so
for
strong.
Sure. What is a pity, though, is that even though there is, this Japanese community here, there are not that many Japanese people doing it.
Yeah.
I can imagine that a lot of Japanese, it's just a wild guess, that a lot of Japanese are really here to work, and they have their own family, and it's rather, I guess, the Germans who are so fascinated also by this culture, by this new type of music, which is completely new. That's why we rather have in Germany Japanese taiko groups.
Yeah, it's very interesting to hear. Because the Japanese culture, just like, so we have to already talk about this, it's very specific.
Yeah.
Not only just like, I don't mean that Japanese culture is difficult or something
Unique.
like that. It's unique. Because
Absolutely.
when we are talking about, for example, about music, Hiroshi Sato, Yasuka Agawa, sorry, it's about 18th,
Yeah.
but you hear in the pop music this kind of significance. So you see this unique story that is deeply rooted with the Japanese culture, and to coming back to Japanese culture, and it's very close connected with the idea of wa. Wa, it's just like harmony, translated from Japanese to English. And could you say, please, more about this? What kind of role plays taiko in Japanese festivals like Matsuri, and how the audience reacts
What is the audience
to
giving
this
back?
art?
Awesome. Hi, guys.
Hi guys, it's September.
We give you all enjoyment. We could not stop it earlier.
Banging in Japanese style.
So, coming back to our question, Barbara. So, what kind of role plays taiko in traditional Japanese festival like Matsuri, and how the audience reacts to this kind of art?
It's so important, and to me it needs to be there, because with the beats, it's like as soon as you hear it, you start doing the same movement, not to that extent that you have your hands doing the bass beat. It's like you do head banging, or your feet starts to stomp in the same way. So also in the traditional in the origins of taiko, it was also part of warfare. It's not the best example, but that's how it also started in the past, right? You had the drums beating in order to communicate and to motivate on the one hand, so that your soldiers
The army,
are marching in the same speed and the same way on the one hand. And this is comparable in the modern world. Once you hear the taiko drum, you automatically go in the same movement of the beat. And that's why, to my mind, it's needs to be part of a matsuri, because it motivates the audience. They feel the vibe, and they just enjoy.
Barbara, but you said you have been on the festival. But when exactly people who may be interested in can visit and also be part of this big community and wonderful festival?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm not sure whether this exists in Germany, because when
No, I mean in Japan.
Oh, in Japan. Well, there is also a big a Taiko festival, which is I'm sure there are several, but there's a big Taiko festival where various different Taiko groups participate, and it's so renowned that even Europeans, they take part before that in various different workshops, just to do it in Japan, which makes a difference if you do it in Japan or if you do
everything.
it
Food in Japan. It's
absolutely, it's you get in that space. So it's not just about the drumming. It's being surrounded by Japanese people, by Japanese culture, by Japanese food. And then what they do after the workshop is they go to that festival just to experience it, because it's so different if you see several different Japanese groups or if you see European groups.
Or you can buy something there for yourself, like kimono.
Yes, I'm sure you'll buy
I'm sure I'm gonna buy there. I'm just through the streets.
Yes. Japanese things.
Feel like geisha, you know?
Yes, they have so beautiful things. It starts with the kimonos. It ends with the shoes. Yes, the whole culture is fascinating.
But I really like just like Japanese food, because Japanese food, I think about ramen soup right now, and I understand that I would like to go to a Japanese quarter here in Düsseldorf too.
Yeah, I also like this little dessert when you're shaking it. It's a little cat starts to
God,
shake.
why are you talking about this? Shake. No.
It's not just the taste, right? It's like art. You get
Yes.
that plate,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to take a photo because it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also they do from the foam little kittens or anime characters. If you ask, like a latte macchiato with a foam looks like your favorite anime character.
Love it.
Oh, I'm gonna eat it alive.
Yes.
We're hungry now.
Yeah, but
I'm very hungry now.
Let's talk about workshops. I know that you also do workshops, no?
Yes, we do. So on the one hand, if Bonton is in Japan, they of course they have they open the doors to everyone basically. So if you want to have a workshop with them, you just get in touch with them, and this is what Beatrice, one other team member of the Friends part.
We should say hello to
Hello,
Beatrice because she's listening us
She's
now.
a big shout out.
Yeah,
To her. She did a tremendous job because she brought Bonton to Düsseldorf. She organized. She organized the concert over a year now. We practiced over a year. We practiced Bonton songs, and where did we start? We said with regards to the workshop. Exactly. This is what Beatrice did. So that's how she met Bonton. She saw them live, and then she immediately said, oh my God, I want to learn that philosophy. I want to learn their songs. I want to get in the same vibe. And she was in Japan, in Tokyo, just this spring for 3 months, learning it very, very detailed, getting the spirit. And then she came back and she taught me that spirit.
Wow.
And this is what they do when they're at home. But when they're in Europe, they also offer workshops.
Yeah.
And also next week, they are offering 2 different workshops. I'm afraid they are already sold out. But since they're so successful, hopefully they will return on a regular basis, and for sure with more workshops to come.
Definitely. I mean, it looks like that. And I would encourage our audience to check the page. We will leave the link and have a look for new workshops.
One more little question about workshops. So how it feels for the normal people, because when I realized that I have to be a bodybuilder, just like to make push-ups, my abs, I don't know, I have to go to gym to be like very, very strong, because we are talking about a drummer. So I'm playing the piano.
Yeah.
And piano, just like you're sitting, oh my God, I'm playing
Very
Mozart,
delicate.
I'm playing Chopin, and I feel like butterfly. But drama, you need just like
Have a power, really.
You really have a
strong,
power,
yeah.
and so I think that our soul is very connected to the instrument which we are playing on, and the drama. It's you have to the spirit.
Well, look at me, right? So as mentioned, I did ballet before I started drumming.
Wow.
And, the energy and the strength is within you. You don't have to really beat the drum strongly. It's you just feel it and let it flow.
But you have pain after all. A little.
Well, after 25 years, yes, of course, you establish other
Okay.
type of muscles, that's for sure, but you don't have to be really strong just to beat it.
No, I'm just joking. Of
Yeah.
course, it's really nice, when you do something new for you, and especially for your soul, and you feel so inspired by this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it means nothing. In the moment, you don't feel it. Maybe after, yeah. But the moment flies.
Awesome. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. It's a September show.
I hope you all enjoyed the music. And now we have a wonderful question from Sasha again.
So about playing one instrument and emotions. So I said earlier that I'm playing the piano, and so when I had bad days, for example, or I wanted to explain something, I just came to my instrument. But playing the piano, just like, you're playing Mozart, you feel like butterfly and so on, but drama, it's something like drama, you know what I mean? And so you really can share with your instrument your bad emotions, and especially when you are playing drama, because it's very so, you know what I mean? So you have really close connection, your body connection to the instrument and how it feels like.
Yes, I have to say, if you're in a bad mood, maybe Taiko is not the best way of playing the drum.
Oh, yeah.
You always
Oh, wow.
have the feeling that, because it's so loud and the movement is so big and so strong, everyone believes that it might be an aggressive instrument, but it's not. You can play it really soft, and I have the tendency also to, when we do a warm-up, to close my eyes and to just listen and to really just feel it. And I remember we did an exercise once where we had somebody lying in the middle of the room, and we had a group of drummers with the taiko drums in a circle around that person, and we were slowly doing that heartbeat. And this is what really catches you, because you can feel it in your stomach, you can feel it in with your heart. It's really because it's like
It's a
heartbeat.
shamanic. It's really shamanic.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's why I do not want to give the I have to interrupt and say that it's not when you're in a bad mood. It gives you a really good mood. And as soon as I also have a friend who received a drum from her mother, who has died, and she feels every time she plays that drum, she remembers her mother, and she has she has the feeling that the spirit is in that drum.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps. Sorry.
Yeah, me too,
Me
me
too.
too. Like,
And
oh.
these are the stories behind Taiko that is individual and unique on the one hand, and as you mentioned, why it's so emotional, because it's you can have all those different situations, and what is even more beautiful, that it's a team instrument. And not like a piano where you sit most of the time all by yourself, playing beautiful pieces of songs. And with taiko, it's different, because of most of the time you have
You band it with them, right? You band
Exactly.
it together with one spirit, and the
Exactly.
spirit should be light, playful, joyful, to share, spread this energy.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful, really. And we also have a question from Michael, who is sitting here. You asked, I will put microphone up, and it's gonna be this one.
Yes, the question will be, there's a difference between the normal drum playing and taiko drum playing.
Yes. So the percussion, there are so many different types of percussions, right? The movements with percussions is rather smaller, faster maybe. With the taiko drums, the movement is bigger, and to me it's like dancing. When you beat the taiko drum, it's really your whole body moves. And of course, there are also percussionists playing the taiko drums. And here I see that their technique is really there on point. However, the movement is not as big as somebody who's starting anew. And I guess that's the big difference. That taiko is more about the movement. It's more about the body. Because it's not just the hands doing the movement. Your legs are also going in back and forth. You have movements where you sit also, and you can sit in front of the taiko, and it's your upper part of the body going back and forth.
Ooh.
So indeed, it's you're training your stomach muscles, and it's I don't need a gym anymore.
Maybe. Wait, guys. I think I found a solution for everyone.
No diets.
No gym.
No gym.
Goodbye.
It's a perfect combination. You have the music, you have the rhythm, and you have sports as well.
So urban sports, bye-bye.
Yeah,
we had fun. We have found something new.
Perfect, isn't it?
Just imagine, guys, if you need to reduce any cost in your card, please follow the
Do taiko drumming.
Yeah. But would you recommend taiko drumming to the kids? And from which age, I would say? Because probably they're too young.
Well, you can always start. I remember I have a 4-year-old daughter, and when I was pregnant, that was in 2000. We were in the middle of COVID, and then I returned. And that was in summer, and I started playing the drums while I was pregnant. And while I was playing in front of that big odaiku that I've already mentioned. And then 2 days later, my daughter arrived. And I always, that's what I don't know if it's true, but I think it's kind of linked. That's
true.
That she was curious and wanted to find out, what is mommy doing there? What's that sound? And yes, you can always do it whenever you want.
It's a beautiful story, and I'm pretty sure that's why your daughter's so interested in it, right?
Yes, indeed, and she already, it's so simple. You can always drum with your hands. You just need a ground. You have your desk, a table, and you can immediately start drumming. And if children want to try it, they can already try it with 2. As soon as they can, hold the wooden sticks.
And we know they can hold it pretty well.
Yes.
From
exactly.
the beginning. And you're like, stop, no, not so quick, please, no.
Exactly. So I know that there is a group in Koschenbroich who offer trainings to children starting 4.
Oh, amazing.
So I can imagine that that's a good age to start, because they already have a feeling for rhythm. They can remember things. They have a feeling for their body. So indeed.
It's fun. It's like, again, community. It's about being together and finding friends and finding yourself as well, your identity.
Awesome. Hi guys, it's September show.
Let's talk about how this performance and involvement people in masterclass maybe change the future for them, and they become the part of the bigger group and bigger community, and how it's happening. Like, Barbara, can you please share the story?
Yes. Well, there are various different groups in Germany with various different ways of playing the drums, right? So whoever is interested in trying, I can only recommend to start somewhere and then, you know, have their eyes and ears open and just try somewhere else, just to understand what is the most suitable for you. Where do you feel well and linked also with the other team members? I remember we had one project in the past where we introduced Taiko in a school. It was part of a yearly project where the pupils were allowed to select what they wanted to do, whether they wanted to do something creative, something with sports, music as well, and within the music part, whether to play the drums. And they learned the discipline on the one hand, but they also learned how to play freely and to improvise. And I think this is a good combination, to let, you know, kids just try and do their thing, but at the same time also be disciplined and learn how to beat the drum in the same rhythm with others. And there were a couple of pupils who were, you know, they were in their teenagers where they are reluctant to do things, and they didn't, you know, everything was, you know, they didn't like to do it. But at the end of the day, there were a lot of pupils who were really fascinated because it was so different to what they used to. And 3 of them, or even more, I can't remember because it was so many years ago, and they wanted to continue doing
Wonderful, yeah.
And, you know, with teenagers, they say, okay, I'll just do it. And then a week later, then they're not interested anymore, or they have girlfriends and they're not interested anymore. You know how it is. We were the same. But 2 of them, they really wanted to continue with us and learn it in a more professional way. And they joined really very disciplined on a regular basis and joined us to continue doing it on a professional basis.
It's I think that's the most beautiful thing about creating music, I think.
Yes.
And learning music, because we are talking about the discipline.
Yes.
It's the art and discipline. It's rooted.
Yes, but also the passion, right?
Passion.
Passion is so important, and passion is the basis of everything. And once it grabs you, it's like, okay, I want to do it each and every day. And even just a couple of minutes ago, when we were in the break, and I was just, you know, talking about being in that Taiko space. I wanted to immediately, if I had a drum with me, I wanted to do a session with you, even though
and
you have never done it before.
Yeah, we will do it. We will do it.
Yes, we should.
I'm pretty sure it's our plan, and now we're gonna do it, and we will announce when we're gonna do it, that everyone can join. And Barbara, can you please share a little bit more with our audience when gonna be the show? Also, again, how we can find you and wonderful friends.
Well, first of all, you should see the show tomorrow. I think that's the best start.
And where is it going to be?
It's going to be in the Capitol Theater. You can still buy tickets today until 10 p.m. on the website Bontendus, so Bonten Düsseldorf, bontendus.de. And if you don't have time, or you're listening to the show later on, there are still tickets that you can buy tomorrow on site in the Capitol Theater starting 4:30. And the shows tomorrow starts at 6.
Perfect.
So that's basically a good start, and I truly hope that once you see it, you want to try it as well. And then, as mentioned, just go on the website, check out the various different groups that exist in near your place. Try it out, try yourself, and then hopefully you'll continue doing it.
For sure.
Only recommend it.
Yeah, and we also will give all links as well that you can follow. Guys can also buy tickets and enjoy it for tomorrow's show, which is going to be great. And it's really, really great. I would recommend to everyone. You can also be part of the workshop, which are going to be in the future soon, and they already have an existing here in Düsseldorf, the big community. Please join too.
And then, so the next question to Barbara.
really quick question, because we have to say goodbye to our lovely.
It was so fun. I don't want to leave.
I know.
So
Okay,
one little question.
let's
One
do-
little question about this before we say goodbye. So, Japanese culture and Taiko, and so what is the most beautiful and so what makes Japanese culture unique, and how the audience who will see this unique in tomorrow's show could find it?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nearly a philosophical question, right?
1 second, and you have 15 seconds to answer.
Okay. Well. It's beautiful. It's energetic, and it's full of emotions. And I always say, Taiko is like chocolate. Once you try it, once you've tasted it, you need to have more of it.
Oh, I want
It's
this
addictive.
chocolate. I want it. I want this chocolate. Guys, follow also our September show and Stream D, and we're gonna see each other and hear each other next Saturday. But for our goodbye, we will listen all together, Bont and Guy, for wonderful composition. Let's enjoy and have a nice, wonderful and nice Saturday for all Düsseldorf. We love you guys.
We
Bye.
love you.
Thank you.
Bye.